Well, hey guys, it's Darwin, and today I want to cover some gear that I have never talked about here on the channel, and that is my favorite car camping gear. So obviously this channel has always been about backpacking, thru hiking, and even bikepacking gear. But the truth is I still get out a ton every single year to do a bunch of classic luxury car camping. My wife and I absolutely love to get out in the summer and the fall on a Friday after work and spend a couple of days in our local forest relaxing and unwinding. I even lived out of car camping setups for years, living out of a minivan with a tent that we slept in every night, to a 5x8 cargo trailer that we lived in full time, and then a fully stocked out built van during my #van life stage. So you could say that I'm no stranger to your essentials of car camping gear. And I've had a bunch of it, all the way from super budget stuff that you're gonna find in places like a Walmart to some higher end equipment that you're gonna find at places like REI. But today I wanna go over some of my favorite gear that my wife and I have picked up over the past year to upgrade our car camping system. And specifically, I wanna talk about what we've done to upgrade our sleep system and our cook system. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I go out to do a car camping trip, I'm looking to do two main things, which is eat and sleep. And because this video is all about getting out into your national forest, relaxing and unwinding and enjoying the awesomeness that a national forest can bring you, I am super excited and proud to announce that this month I have actually partnered with the National Forest Foundation to help inspire you guys to get out into your national forest and find your awesome. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know I'm a huge advocate for public lands. I actually am a big national forest geek and collect vintage national forest memorabilia. Plus I have a big Smokey Bear tattoo on my leg. And my wife and I are lucky enough to live up here in northern Arizona in the beautiful Coconino National Forest. So whether it's venturing down for service roads to find dispersed camping spots like this one, or it's getting out to hike or ride, we spend a ton of time in our national forest. Well, this year, in order to celebrate these amazing and beautiful lands, July 8th through the 14th is National Forest Week. And the National Forest Foundation is challenging all of you and myself to get out into your national forest and grasslands and enjoy and soak up the awe of these 193 million acres of public lands. Not to mention, they're also holding a photo and video contest. So from now until July 14th, if you're gonna go out and spend time in your national forest, which I encourage everybody to do, whether it's car camping like this, or it's hiking, biking, climbing, whatever it is that you love to do, get out into your national forest and grasslands, take some photos or videos, and then submit them over to the National Forest Foundation's website for your chance to win a ton of awesome prizes. Then they're gonna select a winner in August and announce that over on their Instagram page. So if you're interested, make sure you're following over there as well. Check out the link down in my description box to find all the rules to the contest, all the different categories that you can enter, and some of the amazing prizes. I know that I'm definitely gonna be submitting some photos, so you guys should as well. Get out, enjoy your national forest, find your awesome, tag responsibly, and good luck. All right, so let's jump into some of this new gear that we've recently upgraded for our cook system and our sleep system over the last year. So starting off with our sleep system. We've used a bunch of different sleeping pads over the years, from our backpacking mattresses to the bigger inflatable, cheaper mattresses that you're gonna find at a Walmart that usually your in-laws stay on at your house. But about a year ago, we actually upgraded to what has become my favorite sleeping pad of all time, and that does include backpacking sleeping pads. And that is the X-Pad, I can never say this company's name right, Mega Mat Duo 10. This thing is amazing. So basically what it is a full-size mattress for a larger 4-person tent. It's kind of like one of those classic self-inflating pads. So it does have foam in it, but also requires air with a little hand pump or foot pump that it comes with. I can say out of all the sleeping pads I've ever owned, from those big, thick air mattresses to all the backpacking sleeping pads I've owned, this is definitely the most comfortable. Obviously it's bigger and bulkier and heavier than your traditional backpacking sleeping pads, but if it wasn't so big and they made a ultralight, smaller version, I would definitely carry this on the trail. This thing has definitely helped improve our sleep. It's not super noisy, you know, like some of those air mattresses are crazy noisy when you're moving around on them. It's just super comfortable. It packs down pretty small for our car. You know, we don't have a lot of room anymore. We don't have our big van anymore. So now having this Subaru Crosstrek, we're a little limited on room. So I love the size of this thing. I love the comfort of this thing, the ease of getting it out, blowing it up. Just a super comfortable upgrade to our sleep system. And then speaking of sleep system, back in 2017, I actually bought one of these Enlightened Equipment Itasca quilts. I've owned a ton of their quilts over the years, but this is basically a queen-sized comforter that they make specifically for car camping or van life or even at home. I bought this back in 2017, had it custom made for our 5x8 cargo trailer. Then when we moved to our bigger built-out van, this was the main quilt for in there, and now we use it every time we go out on a car camping trip. It is a 900 fill, 20-degree quilt. It has no zippers or buttons. It doesn't have a closed foot box. It's just like a comforter like the one that you have at home. It's made out of the same materials that my quilt on the trailer made out of. So for me, it's a little bit of comfort in that because I've spent so much time sleeping in those quilts. I've talked about how in the past on backpacking trips, my wife and I would never share gear again. I would never sleep in the same quilt or sleeping bag as her. I would never sleep on the same pad or in the same tent. But for car camping, it's a bit different. We like to snuggle up on a cold, chilly night of car camping, and that is where this plus this mattress make an awesome pair. Next up, let's talk about our cook system, because again, for me, it's eating and sleeping, the two main things that I'm doing when I go out to car camp. I'm not worried about putting in miles. I'm not worried about getting out and doing a bunch of mountain biking. I want to relax. And a lot of that comes down to cooking a good meal. Now in the past, we've used a bunch of different camp stoves, and the main one that we've used over the years is the classic Coleman 2-burner propane stove. You've probably got one of these in your garage, or you've seen a ton of these. It's like a suitcase. It opens up. It has 2 burners. We had one of these in our minivan for years. Then we had one attached to the door of our 5x8 cargo trailer that folded down. And then this one actually came out of our van life van build. I think they're usually around $100, if not cheaper. But you know, they are bigger. They do take up a nice size amount of room. You got to bring your pots, your pans with it, all of that to go with it. So recently, to save on room and to have something that's more efficient, we actually upgraded to a stove system that Jetboil makes called the Jetboil Genesis Base Camp. So what's cool about this thing is you're looking at everything. You're looking at 2 burners, you're looking at 2 pots, a windscreen, everything. It's a really neat system if you haven't seen one of these, because it all nestles down inside of itself. So inside of here, you basically have a frying pan, which I haven't used this a ton because it does have a Teflon coating. I'm not a big fan of Teflon, but it comes with this to start with. And then inside of here, you have your pot. Just like the Jetboil pots that you use backpacking, it has that flux ring on the bottom of it. So it's just more efficient when it comes to boiling water or cooking. A really nice big lid. And then down inside of here is actually the 2-burner system that kind of folds on top of itself. So you open it up, you have your 2 burners just like that. You have an awesome regulator built into it. Great simmer control. What I've noticed with this is when I'm cooking with it, I get a better flame control than any of the Coleman stoves. With those Coleman stoves, it's either all the way on or barely on. With this, I can easily simmer a lot better. And then it has these little spots that go around it that actually allow you to hook in a windscreen, a big windscreen that it comes with. So if you are in a windy camp spot for the night, you don't have to worry about the flame getting blown out and it using more gas. Just like the Coleman stove, it does use these classic green propane tanks, or you can hook it up with a hose to a bigger tank. And it also has what they call the JetLink output. So you can actually hook another Jetboil burner to it to say, make coffee or maybe put another pot on, so you have 3 burners. So I just really love how compact this system is and how it all nestles down within itself, and it's ready to go. It's nice, it's compact, it's super efficient on fuel. And I think because, you know, Jetboil's whole thing is they're always trying to make their stoves very efficient and not use a lot of fuel with like that flux ring, and it's just perfect. Now, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Teflon pans, so I have not used the frying pan. I actually still bring my cast iron because not only can I use it on here, I can also use it on an open flame, but just a great, small, compact system. And then the most important thing for me when it comes to cooking and, you know, something to put on this is when I go to make coffee in the morning. I'm a big coffee nerd, whether it's out on the trail or it's car camping. And over the years, we've used a bunch of different coffee making systems. We've used instant coffee, like the same stuff we use backpacking. Probably the majority of the time, we've used one of these Jetboil coffee presses with its own separate burner and stuff. And we've even used an AeroPress that we got just over a year ago. They all make great coffee, but something that I got about 6 months ago that some friends sent to me has become my favorite way to make coffee while car camping, and that is one of these BrewTrek coffee presses. So my friends at Onyx Backcountry actually sent this to me. Awesome supporters for the channel. If you guys want 20% off their app, check out the link down below. Support them because they support me. It's kind of your classic coffee press. So it just has that regular press on the top. Inside it has the plunger with the filter. But what makes this special is because it is a double wall insulated mug. So in the morning when I go to make coffee, I can make a bunch of coffee, I can pour a couple cups, and then I can come back 2 hours later and it's still hot. So whether it's chilly or it's not, I know that I'm gonna still have a hot cup of coffee out of this. The only thing that sucks about the Jetboil is I would make some coffee in this, drank about half of it, and then when I came back to it, it would be cold, so I would have to fire up the burner again. Now, because this thing doesn't have a burner, obviously I need hot water for it. I also picked up one of these Sea to Summit Frontier kettles. So Sea to Summit has been making a ton of, I think they call them the X series, pots and cups and plates and bowls and stuff like that for years. But the kettle has a metal bottom, it has a metal top, and it is completely collapsible. So it saves on room in our storage box for all the rest of our camp stuff. And it's just the right size to be able to boil a little over 1 liter of water, fill this up with coffee, and then after the coffee's going in here, I'm about to drink it, I can also boil water to make oatmeal, because we eat a lot of oatmeal when we go car camping, tea, anything else that I want to make. With the Jetboil system, you're either making coffee or you're boiling water. So this system I'm able to make some coffee and then move on to actually making breakfast when I'm ready. So absolutely love this system. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the big upgrades that we've made in our sleep system and our cook system over the past year. I could mention a bunch of other gear that we've kind of gotten here and there, but those are the main things that I wanted to focus on today. Speaking of that, what are some car camping gear that you have recently upgraded in your system? What's some of your favorite car camping gear that every time that you go out into the forest to relax and take it easy, you always make sure is in your setup? Leave me something down below and let me know your thoughts. Guys, remember, National Forest Week this year from July 8th through the 14th. So now until the 14th, get out into your local national forest or grasslands, find your awesome. Do what you love, snap a photo or a video, submit them over to the National Forest Foundation, and enter for your chance to win some awesome prizes. Again, check out that link down below for all the information. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I hope you're taking care of each other. I love you, and as always, thanks for watching.